What's going on Facebooks, YouTubes, Twitters, volunteerroadshow.com. That's right. We're back. Got a legendary host on the show, Bobby C., legendary truck driver, and somebody played a little football. Billy Ratliff, a.k.a. Big Worm. What's up, Billy?
Hey, what's going on, man?
You finally joined the show.
Hey, I'm back, man. I'm back. A little rusty, but I'm back.
Tell everybody where you been.
Hey,
You missed last week.
I've been doing some good things, man. Working with kids and some camps and just having fun with some of my ex-teammates and former VFLs.
So tell us about this camp.
It's called Tennessee Legends, and a couple of guys that's doing some things with it. Juice,
and, Jabari Davis,
and Chris Treese. They have put together a pretty good thing, man. I mean, they got this camp with all these kids, and they're trying to go throughout the whole state of Tennessee and basically teach these kids some of the things that they have learned to help them out, to help their coaches.
What did you teach your boys?
Dip and rip, man.
What is dip and rip?
Hey, it's everything a defensive lineman has to do.
Well, see, I need to know because we're going to be doing our one-on-one, Bobby versus Billy. So what am I going to need to be looking for in this dip and rip?
Exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to be dipping and ripping.
Are you?
Exactly.
You know, I'm going to have an oatmeal cream pie behind me, and you ain't getting to it. I know that. Man, we have an awesome show in store for you guys today. We're going to get to talk about Big Toe, Henry Toto, transferred to Alabama. Billy gets to have his 2 cents, and we got a special VFL on hold right now. I want to talk about it, and if you want to talk about it, you can call us at 865-424-1342. We're going to be talking about the Tennessee baseball team. I hear the sheriff's in town. Somebody tweeted Peyton's in the house. Number 1, Arkansas. Against the Vols. What are we, number 4?
Oh, yeah.
The game's already started. Is there anybody got any runs on the board?
Let's see. Tennessee just dropped 2 runs. 2-0, bottom of the first.
That's nice. We got our good news, bad news segment coming up. We're going to talk about some bets. And old Catfish has dug himself out of the hole. All on my own. I've got a new betting strategy, and I'll be able to share that with y'all later on the show. And the best part about it, we're taking your calls. 865-424-1342. We're going to pay some bills, pay some rent with this commercial break, and we're going to come back with a very, very special guest.
People always ask, where did we get the name Blue Water Climate Control? When a Navy ship casts off lines, exits the harbor, and loses sight of land, that's blue water sailing. It takes a team of people to do that. Tireless work, focus, and attention to detail. So much of starting a business is just like that. After it's done, you get filled with deep satisfaction for accomplishing something. And it's quickly followed by, now the real work begins. We're Blue Water Climate Control.
And like they said, now the real work begins. We've got a special announcement. We're just teasing it. We're not going to say what we're doing. But, Billy, we're going to have one heck of a football season in our watch parties. That's all we can say. It's going to be amazing. Never in my wildest dreams I dreamed it was going to be this as good as it is this year. And not only is it going to be good, our boys are going to be winning this year. I've been saying it the last 3 or 4, and I've been wrong, but this time I'm right. Well, let's go to the phones. We're going to talk about some transfer portal stuff. You get to talk about Toto or Toho, but we got a special guest. What you got for Big Worm, Big Perm, B-Rat, and Catfish? You there, JC?
Yeah. I'm here.
Yeah, we got
it. Just, let the people know. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
So everybody knows I've been demoted from the camera to the phone right now. They don't. I can't show my face anymore. They told me I haven't been around for the Cold World podcast, so I got to work my way back up. I got to do a couple call-ins before I can get back on. So I'm putting in my work. so I
Hey,
can get back.
that didn't come from me, JC, Jeff Coleman, number 92.
Well, no,
that come from Worm.
Worm called, the ball. He called me into the office early in the week and had a sit down. You know, I had a little sit down with the big guy. So he told me what was going on. So along those lines, though, I do want to take a couple minutes out of your guys' show. Just to anybody who's listening, anybody who's ever clicked on, we've had some great views for the Cold World podcast. And
oh yeah,
I just want to say I appreciate everybody's support for that, for one, and just hold with us because we're working and we've been talking and we're working on some special things coming up. We're working on some new things coming up. And, it wasn't meant to be an every week thing. We do some specials and we go where the stories and where some of the stuff takes us. So it'll be a little irregular, but hold in there with us and we'll have more content coming your way soon. So appreciate everybody for that.
Well, we appreciate you, JC. So what's on your mind?
Well, before we get
Go ahead, Worm. Worm wants to say something.
Before we get to that, I'm just gonna put my 2 cents in because I didn't want to say this, but a little birdie told me that it's a good thing that you're not showing your face on the screen because they said that thing with Ali said that you surely is ugly.
Man, I'm pretty as they come. So I know you lying. But anyway, so no, I wanted to talk about this. And I called in just in time talking about this transfer portal, talking about something because we had, Catfish knows this. I had some conversations online with people, and that's one of the things I want to follow this up and have a show dedicated to the folks who are getting. We'll get into it. I won't give too much now. I'll let you roll into it. So people have really, really strong opinions, and I want them to not type it out. I want to have a conversation with them about it and just lay it out. We can have a civil discourse about what they think about this transfer portal situation. I'm looking forward to that. But what do you want to talk about with the Catfish? How you want to start this?
Well, I want to know what you think about it. I mean, my first reaction is anybody but Alabama. That was my first reaction.
Well, let me take a step back and I'm gonna get into Henry for a minute. Then I'm gonna get to him. My feeling about the transfer portal is I absolutely love it right now because it is, for one, my main thing is and for whatever reason they don't want to be there, you never want to hold somebody hostage and have them in a situation or a place that they don't want to be. You want to create an environment to where the people who are there want to be there. And for whatever reason they want to leave, I don't care what it is. You might be going through trouble. You might be losing. Whatever it is, stop losing, and people they won't leave anymore. Don't hold anybody hostage that does not want to be there.
That's fair.
Let them go because a coach can leave if he's not happy there. A coach can leave. An AD can leave. An admin can leave. A trainer can leave. Everybody in that scenario can leave if they're not happy, without having to sit out a year, without having to have blocked to where you can go or having certain circumstances put on your transfer. Who else do they do that to? Nobody. So if a person doesn't want to be there, let them go. And I look at that from both ends because we really want to talk about this, and this is going to be part of my point. I heard them call quitters. I heard them call all sorts of names under the sun. Remember, we have people transferring in too. So How do you feel about that? Because a lot of it is a wash. You have guys going out. I heard like the quitter thing bothered me. So are you calling guys that are coming in that you're saying, oh, it's great. It's a great land. It's a great get. I love him coming here. But based on your theory, didn't he quit on his last school? If you're calling the people who are leaving quitters, didn't these other people quit?
Yeah.
So no, you have to be careful what you put in the air and think about it before you say it because again, it's a wash. You have to think. I know your feelings get hurt. You feel like you're rejected when somebody leaves, but you have people kicking down the door to get here too. Focus on that part of it.
I agree.
So that's what. So you talk about Henry, and get to Henry. My first thing was where he went because one of the most beloved. I don't know. I was about to say nobody's a former volunteer. If you're a volunteer, you're a volunteer. One of the most beloved volunteers right now is Alvin Kamara. Where did Alvin Kamara come from?
He transferred from Alabama.
Exactly.
Well, he
So
went to
what's
junior
the
college.
problem?
Then I think he came to us, but there isn't a problem.
But he's been in Alabama. Where's the problem?
Well, here it is, JC. Us fans, we look at it like, these.
No, well, before you do that, tell me about Alabama. Where's the problem with that?
There isn't one.
With that simple thing, where's the problem?
There isn't one.
Okay.
I don't have a problem, and I don't think there's any Vol fan that's got a problem. He just came back into town. When was he back in town? Spring game?
Well,
he was in town for the spring game. We saw him. Everybody loves him. Everybody.
Yeah.
And you should.
exactly. So, and what did I tell you he was back in town doing? I said he was back here to get his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he wasn't coming back to Tennessee. I mean, he'd already left. I mean,
Yeah. You mean Tebow?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, we're talking about Kamara was just in town.
Okay. Yeah.
No. So what are they mad about? Somebody help me understand. What's the? I tuned out some of the comments like after it initially happened. So what are they mad about?
That he went to Alabama.
Oh, okay. What's the problem?
That's what they're mad about. I'm not mad about it. I wish him well, and I wished him well on our show last week.
So I'm gonna put it out there, and I want somebody to call in and I want someone else to call in and justify the point of being mad at him for doing that. But I want somebody who's an Alvin Kamara fan who loves Alvin Kamara to call in and then out of that same breath and same mouth say you're mad at him for going to Alabama. I want someone to do that. Live. I don't want them to type it. I want to hear somebody do that.
Yeah, call in 865-424-1342 and see a lot of that. Us fans, we bleed orange and white.
Mm-hmm.
And we think that the players should be bleeding orange and white. But, JC, they don't come to Tennessee because, man, they just love our colors. They live and die. They go where they think they can get to the next level, get a good education, and develop as a player and hopefully go to the next level, period. Now, when they get here, they fall in love with a place and they're forever a Vol. But with Toto, he went to Alabama a month ago. Then his dad got involved and said, "No, it's not a done deal." And then everybody said, "It's a lock. He's going to Ohio State." And then,
can I clear something up real quick though? Oh,
yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
And then he said, "No, that's not a lock to go there." And everybody was all mad at Henry when he first committed to Alabama. Was going, "Oh my gosh, there's a chance he can come back. Oh man, we love you. We love you, Henry. Come on back to Tennessee. There's a chance." Like Dumb and Dumber. And then he goes to Alabama.
Yeah. So, just to clear something up real quick, it's a little bit different. Again, we always talk about our time, but it's not too much different right now. There's some similarities. Players fall in love with coaches and relationships first and foremost. Then because you notice they talk to the coaches, and that most of them, by the time they've connected with the coach, they probably hadn't even been on the campus. They watched them on TV, but they haven't actually been on campus. They haven't seen the fan base. They haven't been to the stadium. Haven't been to the locker room. Haven't done any of that. They see the idea of the school. Then they meet and talk to a coach that they connect with, that the mom connects with, that their high school coach put them in front of, something like that. And then they get there, and then it's like, oh, okay. That's where that can lose it. They can connect with the coach, come to the campus like, no, I don't like this. As long as they don't mess it up when they get there, it's that connection that started that. And then that's just the icing on the cake when they fall in love with the school. And I get your point. Everybody thinks that every kid that signs there grew up loving Tennessee, was a Tennessee fan, and I'm following my dreams and I'm going to Tennessee. That's not the case 99, especially for out-of-state kids. Yeah, for out-of-state kids, that's not normally the case. And it's the case for a lot of the in-state kids, and I get that, but it's not the case for people coming from out of the school. So, but appreciate the fact that they didn't grow up loving you, and a lot of the players, because, we're talking about there's 85 scholarship kids. How many people transferred out this year? How many total left?
Several. I don't remember, but there was a bunch.
Yeah, but on the because it was a trend. But when you lose coaches, that skews the numbers. Like you lose a coach, but year in and year out, you may lose less than 5 kids to a transfer. So out of 85 kids, you lose less than 5 on an average. That means 80 or plus kids love it there, never leaving. Focus on the 80 kids that love and stay there every year, love being at Tennessee, and focus on them instead of getting mad about the kids who left for whatever, whether they think it's legitimate or not. Let these people go to where they want to be. And if they don't want to be there, let them go. When we talked about this the first time we were on talking about this, if you don't want to be there, let him go. Quit. Don't ask them to stay. When I was at work, when I would have people, when people worked for me and somebody was talking about leaving or they put in a notice, I had a manager ask me, well, did you try to talk them into staying or did you ask why they were leaving? I said, no. If they've gotten to the point to where they're telling me they're leaving, they're not happy, they want to be somewhere else, I'm not going to ask you to stay somewhere that you're not happy, that you don't want to be. Let them go.
You know what I'd have been told back in the day by my grandmother? Don't let the screen door hit you in the ass. You know,
I'll be nice about it, but I'm not gonna, don't turn around because I'm not gonna ask you to stay. You can keep walking.
Now, what do you like the transfer portal better than you like the transfer rules when you were playing? We know there was a great VFL. Darwin Walker transferred from NC State to Tennessee, but there was different rules. Didn't you have to sit out a year, JC?
Yeah, he had to sit out a year, and I never liked that because I like the way the way I understand it right now. You can transfer one time without having to sit out. Now you shouldn't be able. Well, yeah, you shouldn't be able to just keep transferring year over year and have no consequences. If you are allowed to make a decision, you get there, it's not working out, you should be allowed to correct that decision without penalty. You should be able to go where you want to go and be able to play it. I don't understand what's so hard about that. There's no other. Where else in this world, if a regular student is at Tennessee, got up there his freshman year, I don't like it, they transfer to Memphis. Do they have to sit out a year? Can they not take classes for a year? Or they take classes that don't count for a year? No. Let them go and continue on with what they're doing.
Well, we got one of our best fans that watch us every week in and week out. Jenny Van is probably the biggest Tennessee fan I know. She's down in Florida, and she had a question for JC. She says, I want to know what JC feels about our fan base.
Uh-oh.
And she's a grad. Her family graduated from here. They're lifelong Vol fans. How do you feel about our fan base? Just tell the truth. Tell the truth.
What else do I normally do? When am I going to not tell you the truth?
You do all the time.
I love our fan base. And just like I love my family, but sometimes I don't like them. Just like our fan base, I love them, but sometimes I don't like the things that they do and the things that they say, and that's okay. We're not going to always agree about stuff. It doesn't mean I don't still love our fan base. And the reason why it's okay because it's rooted in passion and they want the best. And you should be selfish as a fan. You want to keep every good player. You want to be looked at as people love it, want to be here, that sort of thing. So I get why some of the stuff manifests and comes out the way it does. Does that mean I like it? No. Will I tell you I don't like it? Absolutely. It doesn't mean I still don't love our fan base because the passion is there. They support us. They continue to support us through tough times. But yeah, I don't like the way they react to a lot of things, but that's, my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Billy's not going to like me asking this, and I don't know what your answer is, but we've had some debates about this, and he's already given me that side eye. He's right across the table from me.
What is it?
What do you think about Tim Tebow getting another shot? I don't think, as a quarterback, he couldn't hit the ocean from the deck of the Titanic. I think he's slow, and I don't like Florida Gators. But I told Billy the only reason they got him is to sell tickets.
So you didn't have to say any of those details for me to give you my answer. I think it's absolute garbage. The fact that he, well, and I'm going to lay out a couple reasons why. One, he hasn't actually played in close to, by the time we get to the 21 seed, it'll be 9 or 10 years from the time he actually played. Now, he was on the practice squad and on some rosters a couple years after that. But
playing baseball.
Actually played. I'm not counting that. We're talking about football. So aside from that one little play he ran when they had him at H-back when he was with the Jets, and he ran that little out and it hit him in the head, or he swatted the ball away. That was the last time I think he actually played. I can get in.
But he playing tight end though. He playing tight end.
I don't care though. But how many times? And I'm about to get to that. So I'm gonna talk about the football reasons first why it's garbage, and then talk about the other reasons why it's garbage. So it's garbage from a football perspective because He's never been a tight end before. The one time he's run a couple routes, he doesn't look like a tight end. He hasn't played football in almost 10 years. Who's he going to block? Who's he going to do whatever? Like all the things that come with being a tight end, but it's disrespectful to the veterans who are in the league, tight ends trying to catch a job, the drafted guys coming out, the undrafted free agent tight ends that are coming out of college and looking for a job. He's taking a job from several qualified people who you can't even put a number on the people who are more qualified for that job than him right now. And strictly from that perspective, just from a football perspective, it's so complete garbage that he's taking a job away from some qualified, either a young guy or a veteran. And what kind of message is that sending to as a new coach to your locker room? So you're a new coach coming in and people are already leery, like they're already worried about their jobs because he has no loyalty to anybody that's there. So everybody already knows a new coach has no loyalty. They start to put people that they are comfortable with and people that they know in place anyway. But then you go pluck this guy out of the multiverse somewhere and just drop him off in that locker room. That sends a horrible, horrible, horrible message. So that's the football answer for it. And there's another piece to that. And yeah, I'm going to talk about it. There's the social aspect of it. Everybody, because I heard you mention that he's playing tight end, because I think that may have been a precursor because he's not playing quarterback. There's another quarterback that's sitting out there that doesn't have a job for reasons that have absolutely nothing to do with football. So I think that may have been touching on that. But we're still, I don't care how hard people try not to draw that comparison. There's a comparison there. There's a person out there who played the same position that this dude played, is out of football for non-football reasons. But this guy can be plucked out of the air, that's doing nothing, to take a job from several other people. The optics of it are terrible. They're trash. The whole situation is just bad. It's not good. And he's not going to make it out of it. He might make it past the first cut only because of his ties to Urban Meyer, but it's going to be so painfully obvious that he shouldn't be on that field. They're going to have to cut him before they get to the final roster cut. So we won't even have to talk about this much longer after that.
Well, before we get into some four legendary tight ends, they gave their 2 cents, and I'll read them. But, Billy, the floor is yours.
I mean, I have nothing else to add to it. He said everything I've been saying. You know, I mean, I understand what Urban Meyer is doing. I understand the situation. And I told you, dude, I can't knock the man's hustle. This man is getting job after job after job. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I want to know, I really want to get in Tim Tebow's head and Lane Kiffin's head to teach me how to get those types of jobs.
So you know what, Worm? That if Tim Tebow is not what you know, but who you know was a person. That's Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, man. I want to know, because these guys here, I mean, look at their resumes, man. Look what they got on their plates to tell the next person that hiring them, look what I did.
Well, you know what? Lane Kiffin has more of a legitimate argument than Tim Tebow does. I'm sorry. But yeah, I get what you're saying about him, but Tim Tebow, there's no who else would even give him a workout at this point? Which he didn't have to, and that's the other part. He didn't even have to work out to get signed. But who else would even give him a look? Nobody would even call him back right now. Like if his agent called any other team, they wouldn't pick up and they wouldn't call him back.
Oh yeah, it may be the biggest shock in the history of any pickup in the NFL ever.
I wish somebody would find one that's worse. They'd be hard pressed to tell me one. Not one. You're not gonna find one that's worse, but even one that's even equivalent or close to that bad. Find me one.
They have said that he's in good shape. He is in good shape. But this is football.
Okay, you have good shape and you have football shape.
Yep.
He ain't in football tight end shape.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, here's what Kellen Winslow said. The route running, and I haven't read any of these. There's 4 great tight ends. The route running, I think he'll pick up rather quickly. The catching will be a second nature. It's going to be the physical play of blocking and getting hit. That's what Winslow said. Dick has said the physicality of it all. If you're a tight end and I don't think you're physical, I'm going to try to beat the heck out of you. That's just what the linebackers will try to do. If they don't think he's physical enough, they'll try to beat him up. Walker says getting hit in the face. He was a running quarterback when he won the Heisman Trophy, so he's used to contact. That's not going to phase him. He's big enough. If he can get cracked in the skull and not get thrown off at that point, that was a paraphrase. And then Sharp says it's a lot more difficult running routes in a congested area. You've got people banging on you, the defensive ends you've got to block are bigger than you, and you've never blocked anybody, and he's never caught a pass. You're asking him to do something he's never done in his entire life, and you're asking him to do it at the highest level on the biggest stage. You're asking an awful lot.
I agree with Shannon. A couple of takes on that. I agree with Shannon. I'm shocked that Winslow, who's a Hall of Famer, would kind of trivialize the route running piece of that that much. And I'm not going to say it because he's a Hall of Fame tight end. I can only talk about him so much. I'm just shocked that he would say that. Yeah.
Well, here, the physical part of it. There's no, I don't think that's going to be an issue because there's no physical part of it when it comes to hitting offensive players anymore. He get the run in space. But I just want to see I want to see him make the roster.
That bothers you, don't it?
It does.
Yeah.
No, but I'm going to challenge you a little bit on that, Warren. Like, at some point, hold on. Like that applies to the people that's out wide. The tight ends still have to get in front of somebody. You still have, they keep them in to pass block a good bit, and you still have to, even when you chip, even when you like there's some, they be crazy again, but you're limiting what you're paying for if you never put him out there on the run play and you block. Plus, you're giving away your tail. Like the only time he's on the field, if you're passing the ball, a coach, that's going to take one game for everybody to pick that up. That's one. So you're going to have to put him out there. If he's on the roster, if he's playing, he's going to have to run block sometime. That's a problem. He's going to have to pass block these NFL defensive ends or an outside 3-4 linebacker at some point. That's a problem. Well, trying to run a route where you're getting jammed on the line by one of these linebackers or one of these big safeties is a problem. He's running a route that's going to be a 10. I don't know. I don't think they're going to put him on many seam routes. So he's going to run a dig, a curl, with something across the middle or some quick out. That's the only place you're getting hit right now. Like, you're not getting hit in the head. So I get what you're saying about the physical nature, but you're still getting hit by somebody running downhill. Yeah, he ran the ball as a quarterback in college, and he ran a little bit in the NFL. And I would have been interested to see how much he could have kept that up. So, I mean, you still have some football still. You can't take everything, all the physical nature out of football. There's still, you're going to get hit at some point. You're going to have to block somebody at some point. Yes. So, yeah, I don't think he can do that. No.
Well, here, I think it's going to be a long shot for him making it. And the reason I say that, JC,
that dude is playing,
the reason I say that is because of the same reason with McCaff running the 100 meters. Every football player over there, every linebacker will refuse to let Tebow beat him. They're going to give everything they got to make sure he don't make the team. They're giving all they got. So all the pressure is really on Tebow, though.
But I'm gonna say this: if Tim Tebow is good enough to make that team won't win more than one game next year. They'll be 0-17 or 1-16. If he's good enough to come in there and make that squad, your squad isn't very good. No, your squad isn't good at all, is what I say.
I'm with you there. Yes.
Well, you're going to have a rookie throwing to him.
Yeah, and if somebody's out there talking about what he is off the field and what he does, whatever, nobody cares about that. It doesn't matter about what we're talking about right now. If you think you're gonna say if you sign him to sell tickets, nobody's gonna continue to show up. Especially in Jacksonville, is a tough market anyway. They never had a great fan base. Even when they were winning, they were selling tickets kind of then. But the minute they dip off, Duval ain't showing up. So if you sign him to sell tickets and he makes your team and they're not winning, they're not gonna come back. I don't care. They'll watch him on TV.
Do you think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a decent season? Is he going to get beat up?
I think so. First of all, let me say this first. I really like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a hell of a player. I think he's a hell of a quarterback that's going to a bad situation. Because for what they have around him and if he can, it would have been better for him if they had a good veteran that they could at least give him half the season or some time because they can see what they have. If that veteran's out there getting killed, you don't want to put him out there. Or you give him time to watch and learn and just get a better feel for it. I think he's going to be thrown right into the fire on a really bad team. And look over history when you see good quarterbacks or people who could have been good were thrown out. That's one of those things. Sometimes you're so bad and you get beat up so much, you get shell-shocked so much, you can't come back from it. I hope that doesn't happen to him, but that's not a great situation for him to be in. I like Lawrence. I think if in the right situation, he can be a great NFL quarterback.
All right, before we let you go, I want to ask you one more question about a rookie this year. Played at the Vols. It's been reported that Trey Smith signs his rookie deal for $3.6 million as a 6-rounder, and that includes a guaranteed signing bonus. Billy and I both think that could be the steal of the draft. Why do you think he slipped so much? 6th round, had first-round talent.
Well, I mean, I don't think we know why, because of some of the health issues. You've seen it time and time again where somebody gets a bad, whatever physical, they know someone has a spot on their medical history. And some teams just, if you're investing tens of millions of dollars on somebody, you kind of pause and hesitate, especially when you have, and I love, everybody knows that Trey's an immense talent. He's great. I think he's going to be in time a Pro Bowler in the NFL. But when you see somebody, if they have an opportunity to get somebody that's almost as good as Trey, that's in the same league as Trey with the spotless medical history, they're going to invest in that because your risks are minimized there. They're going to invest. They're going to put their money into something that they think may turn out as just as good or almost as good without the risk. They're going to take it. But I mean, somebody was going to get him, and somebody's going to get a great one. And I, pray that he's healthy. And if he's healthy, he, like I said, within 3-4 years, he'll be a Pro Bowler at max. Maybe before then, but like by year 3, 4, he'll be in the Pro Bowl.
Well, I don't know how there's more than you can count of very low round, 6, 7 undrafted players that make the Pro Bowl and even the Hall of Fame. Just Saturday's one of them. And you have a VFL that Billy was trick-or-treating with, had got a call on Halloween to go play for the Pittsburgh Steelers that was undrafted in Reuben Foster, and he turned out to be a monster.
Yeah. And you have, and take it a step further. If you want to look at, and that's a show we could talk about. We could talk about it. Look at the star system. Look at the 2, there's a couple 1, 2, and 3-star people that when you look at the Pro Bowl, look at the people that win the Super Bowl, look at the playoffs, it's littered with people who weren't, for whatever reason, thought highly of it at multiple levels. You see it coming out of high school. You see it coming out of college. It's not an exact science. People develop different. People miss. They look at things they shouldn't be looking at, and people just turn it on. Like, there's a lot of reasons why it happened, but yeah, you see it all the time.
And you get with coaches that can't develop you.
And oh man, you just summed up the Tennessee experience over the last X amount of years. Yep, that was it right there. That explains what 13 going on 14 years of Tennessee.
And don't get me started on the stars, because last year I was hyped up on our offensive line. We had 24 stars on that offensive line, 4 5 stars, and we couldn't block a cold.
I told you that though. I told
I
you
know,
that.
but I didn't believe you.
Yeah, well, you did say that, and it gets down to what we just talked about. One of the guys who's going to be an NFL Pro Bowler was on that line. There's probably another guy, and it's full of people who watch when they get to the next level, watch what they do. So it's part the talent, and it's more so the coaching and how you deploy that talent. If you don't put them in the right spot, if you don't put them in the right system, don't put them in the right scheme, call the right plays, coach them with the right mentality on a consistent basis, I don't care how many stars you have. You can have, what was it, five? You have 25 stars out there. It won't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll tell you this here. I remember Jarvis, big school, he was telling me when he was speaking to Trey, a couple of years ago when he first got there, and when he got the new coaches came over, and he told Jarvis that, man, I really haven't learned anything since I got here. And pretty much I still doing the same stuff I did in high school.
Jeez.
Yeah, and so Worm, you know why that's a problem, because I could tell you, one, I wasn't a lineman in high school, but from what I learned, even coming in, just learning your stance, learning your base, learning your technique, learning your get off, learning your feet, learning how to stay low, learning how to show. Like, there's stuff that I didn't know as a freshman. I could tell you what I learned by the time I left. Yes. And I could tell you what I learned year over year. I could tell you what Coach Brooks taught. Yes. Me, what Coach Caldwell taught me. I could tell you what Chief taught us. Like, I can show where I developed, and when I first put my hand out on the ground coming from a linebacker to where you couldn't even barely get in the stance and have your weight distributed the right way, and how the technique, I can show you every year basically what I learned from the time I left.
So basically what you're telling me is we need to bring the synergy stick back to Knoxville.
Hell no. I want us to stop with the gimmick. Like, that, the gimmicks only work when you're good.
Billy told me to ask you about that the other day. Said, ask JC about the synergy stick.
Man, the fact, look, that stuff works when you're good. You can't use that stuff until you get good. You can't use it to get good. You can use it after you get there get you over the top and do whatever else to keep people engaged. But you can't. You're not going to get good with gimmicks. The stick, the slogan, none of that. It means nothing until you get good.
Well, see, Billy wouldn't tell me about it. I said, what's this synergy stick? He said, you need to ask JC. He'll tell you all about it.
Man, me and Coach Foreman joke about that. That's something Coach Foreman. It was funny because, and this gets back to the story. Like, there's a lot of connective tissue about about 1998. Coach Foreman was scared about 1998. I've told you this story. I've said it on here a couple of times. He thought we were going to be 6-5 or 7-4 that year. He said it was a motivational tool. He jokes about it. I've said this many times. He believed that. So he pulled out any and everything he possibly could to make that not happen. That's what that is.
But what is it? Is it a real stick or is it make believe? What the hell is it?
Worm, have you not showed him the ring that has the stick? The stick is on the side of one of our rings. What is like? Have you not showed him?
No. You gotta be kidding me.
The stick is on the ring, man.
Jeff, tell him what he told us the meaning of it was.
I don't remember exactly because I kind of tired. Like, that was one of those days I tuned him out because I was already pissed about him telling us we were going to be 6-5, 7-4.
I'll tell you exactly what he said. He said it's the center of the energy of our team.
Yeah, okay. Well, so yeah, that's the very definition of a synergy stick. So this was like we drew, like that was a get. Okay, so that's really the precursor of, how teams use they have their lunch pail right now. They have their hammers.
The chain.
They have their whatever. Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of the chain, but it's like Virginia Tech was one of the first ones I remember using something like that consistently with their lunch pail because it was more about a mentality. The thing Miami doing is more of a fad. Virginia Tech, their whole thing was that you go out and outwork everybody. We go to work every day, so they carry their lunch pail. Virginia Tech was doing that for a long time. So that was kind of, I don't know if they were doing, if that's where he got it from or something like that. I don't know if they were doing it during 98, but I remember them shortly thereafter. They've been doing it since. But that was kind of the thing, and it was it was funny, man, to see it. it was funny, but it was a talking point all the time. And it I guess, served kind of a purpose because it was there. Yeah, the old Synergy stick, man. There was a couple staples from that year. The Synergy stick and that card that you pull out that you had in your wallet. If you thought about doing something stupid, pull that card out and look at it. Worm knows about that too. So yeah.
So that would sounds as bad as the garbage can.
Oh God.
And the bricks.
That was worse than the garbage can. The garbage can was the garbage can is the worst idea.
Oh yeah.
All
Oh my God.
Especially when you're not good and you bring out a
trash
garbage can, you're just inviting people to bully you and to make jokes about you. You're giving them material that they don't need really to do that. That wasn't very well thought. Somebody should have put the kibosh on that, but you know how Butch was.
Now you played under Coach Brooks. Great coach. Did he have gimmicks or did he just straight up teach you? He didn't. I can't see him have gimmicks. He had sayings.
No.
So yeah, he had plenty of sayings.
That's not a gimmick though. His sayings were completely tied to what you were about to, either something you had done or what we had been doing or what you were about to do. Mm-hmm. He was about just, and I've always said this about Coach Brooks. You had on my show, on your show, I see whenever a coach, I don't care what position this person played, if you bring up Coach Brooks, everybody loves him. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves him. Like you've never heard a person either get quiet or say something bad about Coach Brooks. And it's because, and just think about me, black kid, South Carolina, Worm, black kid from Mississippi, kids from all over the place. He never tried to do something outside of what he was to relate to me. He related to me on my level. We connected just off of him being him and me being me. And that's how he was with everybody else. And people noticed that about, he never changed who he was, what he said, what he did. One of the most consistent people I've ever seen about what he did. And you knew he had your best interest at heart. You never questioned if Coach Brooks had your best interest at heart. You knew he did. So whatever he was telling you, you knew what he was talking about because he produced results and he had your best interest at heart. And if he got in your shit, he meant to get in it. He needed to get in it. You needed to get into. So, and it was one of those things. He was going to do what it took to make you whatever your better was. Like, and he produced some greats. He produced some really good, some good. He took people who would walk on, who played. Like he would, whatever you were, he would make you better.
Yes,
that's awesome. And I hear his sayings all the time. Was there any sayings that Coach Brooks had that you listened to it and you said, that don't make no damn sense? And then you think some of them Billy said, then I got to thinking about, what was the one? If you could fly with what'd you say, Billy?
Tell him, JC.
If you could fly with something.
If you can fly with the Owls, you better soar with the Eagles in the morning. I mean, it made perfect sense. If you're going to say, you can do it. If you're going to do that, then you better come here ready. You better be prepared. It's like, that made perfect sense to me.
Well, see, I would have said it like this. You can't soar with the Eagles in the morning if you're flying with the Owls at night. In other words, go to bed.
That's the same thing.
But, so the thing I carried from him and it's the simplest thing he said. He said a lot. It's the simplest thing. It's a great day to get better. Yeah. You take that and you can make that because like it's one of those things. I connect that to something one of my high school coaches told me, and I put those two together. My high school coach told me, he said, you getting better or you getting worse. Nobody stays the same. Like you're not gonna stay not staying the same is getting worse. So I take that thing, those two things, and put them together. You either getting better, you getting worse, and it's a great day to get better. You find something to do today to progress, whatever it is you're into, is life in general, being a better person, doing whatever. Just get better at it, and then putting stuff in your toolbox. I do that all the time. Work. I'm constantly putting something in my toolbox and taking it and making my overall product better. So stuff he says to me sticks with me like little. And the thing about you're not going to want to come to practice every day. Nobody who really wants to go to practice every day. But you have to do it. He told me back then, he's like, when you get out of here, you're not going to want to go to work some days or whatever, but you're not going to always be able to call in. You're not going to be able to say, I don't want to go to work. You do it, you get through it. And more times than not, it wasn't as bad as you thought it was. So I have countless things from Coach that I take with me.
Well, he didn't sound like he had these great speeches, but he sounded like a heck of a communicator. He could communicate.
You have great orators, and you have people that are great communicators. Like orators speak to you, talk to you, they say certain stuff, but he was a great communicator because communication is two ways.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, JC. Well, we're gonna get back to the grind and get some of these Cold World podcasts out. And appreciate
absolutely.
you calling.
So let me say, because my wife just came in here and gave me a nasty look. So it's time for me to go. So she came in here and gave me the nasty look. But yeah, once again, just everybody, again, thank you again for tuning in to the past shows. We're about to give you some really good new material going into this summer, into this year. So yeah, just be on the lookout.
Always great day to be alive, man. Great day to get better.
All right, JC. Right. Have a good one.
All right, man. Y'all have a good show. All right. Talk to y'all later.
Why isn't it? Oh, there we go.
Got it?
Yeah. You was right about that synergy state. He explained it. I never thought that Coach Fulmer. I thought the cliches was just
everybody got them. I'm quite sure Nick
our next to last coach.
Yes, I'm quite sure everybody has them, man.
Well, is there any other? Did the Chief have any gimmicks?
No, Chief was just straight to the point, man. Chief didn't. He didn't play none of that.
He didn't.
None of that. It was all business with him, man.
Did Chief pretty much say, "Fulmer, you stay over there. That's your side of the field, and this is my side"?
Pretty much.
Oh, that's awesome. I love hearing these old stories. Well, what else we got? What's the baseball team doing right now?
It's 5-4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Arkansas, they are swinging the bat right now on top of the fourth. Or top of the third.
All right, we talked about Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Henry. Talked about the baseball team. Keep us updated in the comments section. If you want to call in, 865-424-1342. Talk about baseball, football, basketball, track and field, gymnastics, swimming. I don't care. Call. We got some good news and bad news. Here's some funny news. I don't know if this is good news, bad news, but I'm not going to mention his name because it's forbidden on the Volunteer Roadshow, and we all know what coach this is. We just mentioned one of his gimmicks, in case you don't know. But this particular coach just sold his house in Knoxville for $3.35 million. Thank you, taxpayers and donors of the University of Tennessee, for helping him buy a house like that. Now he can sell it. I wonder where his house is. 11,476 square feet. That's almost like a Walmart. Wow. Holy mighty. Vodka Drinker's in here. How you doing, Vodka Drinker? He's not a Tennessee fan, but he's good people. Love him. Great. Let's see what else is in the news. Josh Heupel updates the status of suspended Tennessee players. It says here, fresh off the wire, he says there is some hope that Tennessee would be able to get them back before the end of spring practice, but that never happened. As the situation continues to drag on, Tennessee coach Josh Heupel gave an update on Tuesday on Sports Animal. Said those guys, this is a quote, those guys are currently in the process of just earning their way back inside our program. There's a standard of what it means to be a student here at the University of Tennessee. There is going to live right, do right. That's on the field, that's off the field, but we also understand that kids are going to make mistakes, and you give them an opportunity to grow, and look forward to those guys going through the process here during the course of the summer. I think he's talking about Salter. This is something else. He said we all want to see Salter get a piece of the action at quarterback, but the biggest losses of the spring were French and Willis. You can toss in Aaron Beasley in that conversation, who was suspended after being accused of abusing a kitten. Oh, that's who was it? Kick a cat or something? Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, Tennessee moves the 2021 opener against Bowling Green to Thursday night, September 2nd. That's going to be the first game, the first notch in our 15-0 perfect season this year.
It's gonna be a Thursday night game, man.
I don't like Thursday night games, but at least it's going to be before Saturday. That's a good thing. Let's see. It's going to be at 8 p.m., a night game on the SEC network. Vodka Drinker says, Billy, you coach football. What do you think of the little kids tackling drill that went viral? I forgot we was going to talk about that. Tell them what you think.
Dumbest thing I ever seen, man. I mean, you can't give kids that. I mean, you already got, a bag angle from the defensive guy, and then they're too young to be hitting like that, man. I mean, that's the reason why I didn't let my son play at that age, because you have coaches like that don't take care of the kids. It's all about safety at that age. You need to be teaching them fundamentals, not drills like that to make laughs about it, because that's all it was when they filming that and they put that out there. That should have never been put out there like that.
Well, from a layman's perspective, and I'm a novice when it comes to the technical positioning and all that Billy, but when I first saw it, it looked like it was set up to get somebody to get their clock cleaned for the video and the ooh and ah that went on by the coaches. It was basically set. It seemed like it was set up to be that way.
It was bad, man. I mean, there was nothing good about that video. That coach, personally, he needs to be fired.
Oh yeah, and that was just a little kid.
Yeah, I mean, you don't do that with those kids, man. That's too.
And he needed some smelling salts. I mean, he was on all fours, but couldn't hardly. He's like, man, what just hit me?
Yeah, that's just. He needs to be. I'm serious. He needs to be fired.
Vodka Drinker says that age is too young anyway. Their bodies ain't even hit a spurt yet. That's a good comment. Any update on the score before we get into some more news? Let's see.
Bottom of the fifth now. 5-4. One on base right now. Ball's got one on first.
We're talking about the transfer portal. Most of y'all already know this. It says Sean Schamberger is back in the transfer portal. I saw his tweet. It wasn't a tweet. It was on Facebook. We're Facebook friends. He got a lot of friends. And he was thanking the Tennessee fans for his time on Rocky Top. But he is going somewhere else. I don't know if he's announced yet who it is, but he was a decent ball player. He could have helped us. I guess he needed to find out for himself what's out there. How old are they? I guess Kevin Bear's talking about that kid. He looked like he's 7, 8 years old.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy, about 7, 8. I mean, that's still too young to be doing those type of drills, though, man. Too young.
Yeah.
I mean, high school and college don't even do that drill. That was a pointless drill. Pointless.
Yeah, especially that young. And it was probably pointless in high school, too, because I didn't like the way that drill was set up to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, it was nothing good at all. There was not even a training moment in that drill.
Expound upon that. What do you mean training moment?
Well, I mean, if you're going to do something like that, it need to be in slow motion and teach the kid the right way to do it. If you're going to do it, it's just like that's not the first time they've done that drill.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing that. Because you see the running back, he's ready to run through that kid. There's nothing that defensive player could have done to help himself, protect himself. Nothing.
Yeah. For those of you tuning in right now, we're going to be doing our weekly on Saturday. Not sure the time, but probably in the afternoon, where we go back and visit all our rivals. And we pick one game in that rivalry in the past that we watched together, a sped up version of it. And we're doing Auburn tomorrow. I'm going to try to, You think I could get old Big Cat on the show to talk about that play?
I think we can do that. I think
I'm taking this. I'm taking his side. Let me tell y'all something. If we can get Big Cat on there, Billy, myself, Fred White, Sean Ellis, Big Cat, and Jeff Coleman were doing. What game were we doing?
That was it.
National championship game.
Yes.
Anyway, after the show was over, we all stayed on chewing the fat. Billy went to bed, so it was just 4 of us, me, Fred, and then Fred had to go to bed. Then JC got tired of listening to us. He went it was just me and Sean. I said, Sean, they talk bad about you because we talked about that play. I said, I know you're faster than that. What was up? Was it hot? I said, just tell me. This is off the air. Tell me. He said, no, it had nothing. It was hot. But he said, what they don't tell you, and he's talking about Billy and JC making fun of him about being so slow, is that he just run 80 yards. And that's what he said the play before running down a running back.
And what did you go look at?
I ain't saying. I'm out of it. I'm not going.
I didn't even have to go look at it. I can tell you what he did just by my memory. If the running back was that far down the field, Big Cat was walking. I guaranteed you, we go look at that, and I don't even have to go watch. I guaranteed you, he was walking. He ain't running.
Let's pull that up right now.
I guaranteed you, he was walking.
Let's see that play. He was slow on that play. I admit. I might have been able to outrun him on that play.
See, I'm not taking anything away from that. He is a great athlete.
Oh, awesome.
Great athlete. But he may think he's fast, but as soon as that ball got in his hand, I guess the ball was 80 pounds.
Yeah.
Because that's how fast he was running as if the ball was 180 pounds.
But you did, in all fairness and defense of Sean, you did tell me that was the hottest game you'd ever been in.
Yes, it was hot. Heat index was crazy that day. Heck, every time I came out the field, I went and got oxygen. Every time.
Really?
Yes, it was that hot.
I'm trying to find that play, and we're going to watch it here in just a second.
But guys, if you want some rent money real quick,
here it is.
I just played a little live play with the Washington Wizards to cover minus 1.5 points the second quarter.
You have been hot.
I'm gonna put 200 on it.
All right, we're gonna watch this play.
Oh, we got. Let's see. I want to see it.
This is the play in the national championship year. I'm gonna exit out of it, and you tell me if we can see it. Hold on. I'm gonna let's see. There we go. We can see it. All right, hold on a second. Let's see what he's talking about. All right, can you see him lined up for it?
I see it. He's
all right, I'm gonna back it up just a second here.
He's at the far bottom down here.
And look at Billy. You were barely moving and outrunning him.
I'm just
all right, here it is.
Second and 10 from just outside the 10. They could get another first down just inside the 1.
There's Billy right on his heels. Number 40. There you go, Billy. You are fast.
Man, I had to stop running. I said, I'm going to block somebody. I just wanted to hit somebody.
Let's see who all's going down there. Let's go back and watch that again. He did pull away from y'all. I do see that.
Yeah, but look how many people came and called him.
First down just inside the 1. Bad pitch. Picked off by Sean Ellis.
There's number 40. There you are. There's Ramsey.
Look how many people came and called him.
You were looking for somebody to hit.
I went back and hit somebody. Yeah, back it up. You'll see me. I just did a U-turn.
I saw it. I saw it.
Watch me just go. Hold up. Let me go get somebody.
Let's see again. Yeah, I think, but it don't show the hit though. You didn't see who you hit.
No, you did.
All right, there you are, right there, right stride for stride with him, number 40.
him.
Watch this here. U-turn.
And Sean
Go get him.
That was unnecessary roughness, Billy.
So here, you remember I was telling you about how when people cut you, just let them cut you?
Yeah.
Rewind that and look how the guy cut me and
Hold
how
on,
fast I still got up to go catch the big cat.
All right. Let me get on that screen over here. Where is that? There we go. All right. I'm going to share it here again. All right, here we go. Was that it?
Yeah, so just watch me get cut. The second player over from the bottom on the D line there. Watch him cut me.
From at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, so I got cut now. And look where I ended up at.
Hold on. Let's see it.
See right here?
You're left tackle.
Left DT right there.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Watch him.
Well, he did. You went to your knee. That's pretty impressive, Billy.
He broke a tackle and now has all kinds of help going with him. And Sean Ellis is going to go the distance for a Tennessee touchdown 85.
Who's 33?
Derek Edmonds.
Oh, I remember that name. Well, I'm going to look up the play before that Sean's talking about. This is just a highlight.
Yeah, I want to see it too, because I guarantee you, if it's someone way down the field, he walked to that play.
Let's get some shout outs over here. We're going to try to make that happen. We'll do something. Let's see. Who's talking over here, Billy? Read some of them out.
Let's see here. Let's see. Justin Sandy. He said, hello, Catfish and Billy. Matt Dummett. What's up, Catfish Billy? Of course, my our lady Jenny Vane. Hey, Catfish and Billy. Scott Howell. Let's see here. We got Jason Young. He said, hello, Billy and Catfish. Let's see who else we got. Patrick Eady.
We're all got all our regulars in here.
Oh, man, yes. Let's see. Who else we got? Henry. Henry's on here.
Henry's always here. And Henry, you need to check your email. I sent you an email a week ago and you ain't responded about helping you out.
Okie Brave.
Yep. He's in here all the time.
Let's see.
Jenny Vance says, man, memories. I remember that like it was yesterday.
Vodka drinker.
Yep. Kevin Bear said he pulled away after Billy passed him up and turned around. Slim said Billy head hunting. Joshua Simmons. Man, I hadn't seen Joshua. Where you been? Joshua Simmons. Man, we got all kinds of Georgia and Florida and Alabama fans in here today.
That's awesome, man.
Henry said he loves them old videos. Great show tonight. Well, tune in tomorrow. We're going to be doing some Auburn highlights of all the games that I can find. I'm working on that. And then we'll watch a game together. So get your popcorn ready, your Coke, your RC Cola, moon pies, anything you want. We're gonna be watching something. Might have Neil Clabo in the house. He got his longest punt against Auburn. Working on that. I talked to him for about an hour the other night. Punted in Super Bowl 10 against the Oakland Raiders, and Ray Guy was the punter for the Oakland Raiders. And Neil Clabo is a Farragut High School graduate. I believe he enrolled in 72 or 71, somewhere right through there, and 74. He got some stories about Cafago that'll blow your mind about a coach. Some of them you can't say on air. Anyway, how you doing? Sounds good. I'll be sure to check it out. You need to, Sean. What did Kevin say about Sean? He says Sean should have just handed Billy the ball. For heaven's sake. Yeah, he should have done that. Oh, Jenny says the world's largest White Castle, which is a knockoff of Crystal's Burgers, is in Orlando. And she said the line was down the street last time.
Yes, I remember telling us that.
She said she's going tomorrow, so she'll be able to stay the whole time. Hey, I've had White Castles. They're normally up north, Indiana, Ohio, you know, that region, Illinois. I didn't know they was down in Florida. So that's news. Hey, it's time.
What a shame.
Wade says,
All right. My lady at the casino.
where'd you find this song?
Hey, my
She
mama.
lost all the money.
It sounded like something your mom would like.
She said, don't feel sorry.
All right. Listen, guys, last week I didn't talk about betting and my betting for a reason. If it would have gone a different way, I had planned on really talking about it. I had 60 some odd dollars in the bank at Bet Now. All right. And I said, all right, tomorrow is the show. Billy's not going to be here. I'm going to run that. I found me a little groove, Billy, that I went from $1.70 something and worked my way all the way up to 60 something dollars. I was on a roll, and I did something I shouldn't have done, but I only did it because I needed to hit 100 for Friday's show. So if y'all wondering why we didn't talk about my picks last week, it's because I was too embarrassed, because that 60 something that I thought was going to be 100 and something come Friday to start strutting like a chicken went back down to $1 something like that.
Quick.
Because I was chasing and I quit doing what got me there. But I'm back to 60 some dollars. But Billy's been playing around with these foreign teams, baseball, you never know what's going to happen in baseball. But you've been doing good.
Nah, just
Tell
give me
everybody what your little 7-game run you're trying to do and how it pays out. It sounds good on paper, but I think it's about like picking a 7-game parlay.
Well, I mean, I started off with $25. And I'm going to turn the $25 into about $2,500.
How?
And just doubling my money each play for 7 straight games.
How you doing so far?
Right now, I'm on bet number 3, so I'm at 2-0 right now.
How you do? What you betting on today? That's going to make you. Are you going 3-0?
I'm waiting right now to see if it happens. I need Washington to cover -1.5 the second quarter.
I'm going to lay off of betting for a day or two. I'm going to wait till the playoffs because I got burnt. My little groove, my little strategy was working like clockwork, Billy. I mean, I was on fire, and you admit it because we talk about it. We lived together, and I was strutting every day. Every night I would go click, click, click. I'm going to be doing so good, and I was.
You were.
But I got burnt on that strategy because we're close to the playoffs. You got teams I thought were going to tank because they had no chance to get in the playoffs. So I take the minus and the Celtics minus 350, thinking, well, they're going to win big time. Well, they lose because I didn't know there was 10 teams that could get in the playoffs because I didn't know about this dang playoff game. And if I'd have known about that, I'd have changed my strategy. When did they start this play-in crap?
Has to be new because I mean that's what LeBron was complaining about. Now he wants it.
I got screwed. Henry Riddle. Henry. Everybody says this. Catfish betting on anything is hilarious. Well, guess what? I got 60. I'm back. I hit the bottom and I come back stronger than ever. I've been down to $1 before. My last $2, like the song says, twice. And I've been back. I just can't get over that 60-something dollar hump. Yeah, and teams that are already in will tank. And I had a 9-game parlay the other night that I thought, man, I got a chance. I put $1 on it. Just $1. But it was going to win me 90-something. And you have to admit, that was a smart bets that I made.
I liked it. I mean,
overs have been hitting like I don't know what,
like all-star games.
like crappie in the springtime on the Minna. The overs have been hitting. I bet on 3 overs and 1 under, and I missed all 4 of them. 3 of them went under. when I bet over, and the under, I thought they ain't no way they're going to hit that, and they went way over. I mean, by 20-something points.
That was that Spurs San Antonio game, like 268 or something.
So I'm going to wait for the playoffs because we know both teams are going to be playing then.
Yeah.
Kevin Bear said playoffs are more predictable. Teams play their stars and bring their A games. Yeah, I got messed up on the Lakers because when I bet, I thought LeBron was playing. And then you hollered down the stairs or texted or something, said LeBron ain't playing. And it went from 13 to 8. And I said, all right, I'm going to make another 9-game parlay with the Lakers with the 8 points. And I said, one of them's going to hit. That one with the 13 points, sure, probably not. But, yeah, it'll cover with 8. And then I find out, how the heck did the score end up like that? They only won by 2 or something. And then I find out AD didn't play. I don't know why that was. If I'd have known that, I wouldn't even I'd have just marked it down to an 8-game parlay. But it wouldn't have mattered anyway because I did something I hate. I swore the last 4 times I played an over-under bet, I said I ain't doing it no more. And I did. I still did it. Just like the last 4 times I lost on an NFL game, I said I ain't betting on the NFL no more. Just like the last 5 times I rode a Greyhound, I said that would be my last every time. But I happened to be in an area where it was the Greyhound or walking. Anyway, so what are you betting on number 3? What's your third bet?
I'm not doing anything yet.
Oh, you hadn't done your third bet yet. So you've won the first 2. What were your first 2 bets?
I don't even remember what it was. They were some.
Something over
Kansas City.
Yeah, you had a baseball one in there.
I did the money line on the first 5, and they was up 5-2.
You gotta know. You gotta know too much numbers for betting on baseball.
That's the problem. I don't. I just play it as it is.
And when a batting order gets hot, it don't matter if you're facing Crenshaw or whoever their number 1 pitcher is. Nothing you can do about it. It's more unpredictable. Billy, help you out of the hole again, Catfish. No, I helped myself out of the hole. I did listen to him on a couple of bets, but he was trying to take credit for that. I said, hold up, Hoss. I still had to click the button.
Did you hear that, guys?
I still had to click. I still had to say, yeah, that was good. I still had to agree with it. So there you go, Billy.
Oh, man. Don't you love it, guys? Don't you love it?
Henry said ex-quarterbacks wrote a book many years ago about NFL players shaving points and throwing games. I'm telling you, this thing is rigged. Because of Billy's strategy that he uses to pick winners and losers, which has nothing to do with what he thinks is the best team or home field advantage, if what he says is true, he just said without saying it that all sports is rigged.
I just go with my gut, man. It just feels like it's a winner sometimes.
Kevin Bear has a question for one of your former teammates, Billy.
What's that?
He said, I know it's kind of off subject, and we were just talking about him. Where were we going to? We was driving somewhere, so we need to check on him.
Yeah.
Said, how is Albert Hainsworth doing? Did he ever get a transplant?
I think he did get his transplant. I've been reading his Facebook post. It seems like he's doing okay. I hadn't checked on him, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to text him right now.
When's the last time you actually seen him in person?
It's been a minute. It's been a long time. I mean, because, with the pandemic and stuff, I mean, he hadn't been around because he had to, basically be away from everybody and wait on the transplant. Yeah, I'm going to text him right now.
Well, Kevin, I'm sure Albert appreciates your prayers, everybody's prayers. Pray for him. Oh, what else have we got to talk about, Billy? Anything else?
I think that's about all, man.
Well, I'm gonna try to do it mid-afternoon. We're gonna try to do the Auburn show. I don't know if we'll get Big Cat on. You never know with him. he liable to not answer your phone when you call him every day for a week, and then all of a sudden he shows up.
That's Big Cat.
Do you have any off the field stories that are funny that people would be surprised to know about Big Cat? Any foods he liked or something you'd think was just not what you'd think he would be? Could he eat?
I don't know. I've never really watched Big Cat eat.
I bet he could.
I would say he can as much as big as he is now.
He looked like he's in good shape.
Yeah. Just like we look like we're in good shape in his cameras.
Did Stuckey have to put a bounty on him and say don't eat like they did some of the players, or was he pretty healthy?
Yeah, he's pretty healthy.
Yeah. We might do that, Henry. He wants me to make a hype video. We might do that. Are y'all getting the Preakness? I don't know. Okay, here's a question for Billy. Who was the biggest eater among the D-line in 1998?
I don't know. I mean, because we was. I think we didn't eat a lot, man.
Who was it where y'all were? I was watching a show. No, I was watching the Bill Duff show over again. I reposted it. The interview you had with Bill Duff was about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all were talking about somebody, Stuckey y'all had to watch a certain player because he couldn't eat too much. 340 or something?
340, yeah. I mean, 3 you can eat. Yeah, that's an offensive lineman, man. Those offensive linemen can eat.
How'd he get that name?
Well, when he came in on a recruit, he was about 265. And when he weighed in as a freshman, he was 340.
So that's how you got his name?
Yeah.
340. What did the coaches say?
What did you eat? Everything.
Did he ever get any of it off?
Oh, yeah. You see 340 now. He might be about 240, 230, 250. He looks good right now.
Wow. I guess we're going to get out of here. Is that all you got, Billy? Thanks for watching. We got to pay some bills. We want to thank Blue Water Climate Control. And stay tuned. We've got some humongous news coming. We can't announce it yet. But let me tell you something. It is huge for this football season. So stay tuned. Oh, before we go, got one more question. What was your playing weight, Billy? But I think it depended on who you played.
I played anywhere from 275 to 290, depending on who was playing. We playing in like the Gators, I'll be like 275 because they passed a lot. Playing like the Razorbacks, you want to be 280, 290 because they run.
How do you fluctuate that much in 1 week?
Easy, man. Easy.
It can't be easy. It can't be healthy for you, though.
Easy, man. Healthy wasn't the case. Winning was the case.
I mean, give me an idea. How did you drop that much weight? What would you be your weight? So 270 probably wasn't your regular weight. You probably lost a lot of fluids.
Yeah. I mean,
sweated out,
yeah.
sauna.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much that's what it was.
That's what UFC fighters do to make weight. They get in that sauna.
That's exactly what it was. Exactly what it was.
Could you tell the difference in your speed on your weight?
I didn't lose speed. I didn't lose speed at all, man. I mean, I was just as fast when I was 250. Actually, I was faster when I was at my heaviest.
Really?
291 was a 4.55
Wow. Well, you was running like a deer on that one clip we showed, that's for sure.
It's that first step, man. That's just like the track. Pow, got to get out. Pow. I mean,
who was the slowest D lineman?
Slowest D lineman probably would have been Fred Weary.
Really?
Yeah, that's why he moved to offensive line.
Because I was thinking he was offense. I didn't know he played defense.
See, Cozy Coleman, Fred Weary. Who else was over there?
Witten.
Toby Champion.
Toby Champion.
Jason Witten. All those guys were defensive linemen.
Wow.
You have to have a certain type of speed and footwork to play defense. It's not just lining up over there and just taking up gaps. Defensive tackle is a special position. You got to be very special to play that position. That's why it's one of the highest paid players in the NFL today.
Hainsworth was the first one that hit that 100 million. He's defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
What as Fred White said, it wasn't the former linebackers that helped him as a safety. It was that defensive line that helped him.
It was, man. Well, I'm 3-0 right now. Washington won the second quarter, 27-23.
Wow. What's the score now on the Tennessee game?
Tennessee, I think it was still 5-4. Yeah, still 5-4, bottom of the fourth.
Henry wants to know how much you weigh now, Billy. We're fixing to go on a diet. It's Monday.
Right now, I'm probably about 275.
I'm about 260. So
I'm October.
Explain it before because I get a chance to not enter this thing. You told me down there in the garage, hey, you going to do this no carb thing or no sugar thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm going to start with, just cold.
But I can eat anything I want as long as it don't have sugar.
You know, there's a lot of stuff that got sugar in it, right?
Twinkies and oatmeal. I'm not going to eat that. But I could eat pork chops.
Yes. All of
I can eat greens. Like I just had some greens down there.
Yes. All of that. That's what I'm going to do. Meat and vegetables. But what I'm going to do with mine is.
So you're basically doing keto.
To a certain extent. What I'm going to do is next week, starting Monday, I'm going to do what's called 2 shakes and a meal. So breakfast, I'm going to have
what
a shake.
Shakes?
Just a shake.
My Beachbody shakes?
Yeah, whatever I don't know no Beachbody you was doing. That was a
Those did taste good.
That was a bowling ball.
I just fell off the wagon because I got busy, or I'd have stuck to that.
That's what it was called. The bowling ball diet. You had a bowling ball right here, a rolling ball right here, Twinkie here, Twinkie there, ding dong here.
Listen, guys, when I first got my order of Beachbody in, Billy opened it up. He was looking at it. He was laughing. Down there at the kitchen table, he opened this one thing, and he started rolling around on the floor. I'm not kidding. You've heard rolling on the floor, laughing my butt. Billy was rolling on the floor, laughing. He gets up, and he holds the jar up. He said, because it said recover. It was, what was it? Something.
It was a recovery drink.
It was the orange. It tastes good. And you go, what you going to be recovering from? My workouts. That's what I'm recovering from.
Oh, man. But yeah, it's going to be easy. I mean, I don't have to eat a lot. I just have to have meat. And to me, sometimes I eat too much meat. I don't eat enough vegetables.
Now, you're a witness. How many times a week, if I got time to go to the Food City or Kroger, do I get a big old bag of greens and I'll put them in that red pot and I'll eat on them for a couple of days? That's healthy.
No, yeah, it's healthy, but when you eat the whole pot, that ain't healthy.
Well, they're good. I put a whole stick of butter in it.
And that ain't good.
Yeah. It ain't got sugar in it.
It got fat in it.
So?
And that's why we fat.
Henry said you got to incorporate fasting. I'm going to start doing that too.
Well, and see, that's basically.
Don't eat till noon.
That's basically what I do. Monday, and I'm going to show you. So what I do, guys, is for breakfast, I'm going to have a shake, protein shake.
All them chocolate ones?
Yes.
All them things are awful. Oh my God, they're awful.
Protein shake. And then, I'm going to have, I'm going to drink a lot of water in between.
How much water?
I'm going to try to get a gallon in a day.
A gallon?
Then lunch, I'm going to have another protein shake. Then for dinner, I'm going to have some type of meat, what is chicken, fish, turkey, and some type of vegetables. And then next day, I'm going to recycle and do the same thing. I can switch it up if I want to. I can do my meal in the morning or lunch or dinner. But as long as I do one of those, each one of those throughout the day, 2 shakes and a meal. Now, week 2, I'm going to switch it up even more. I'm going to get a little bit more drastic with it because now I'm trying to really get rid of some of this fat. I'm going to go to it like Henry said, I'm gonna really be fasting.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm gonna be doing is just 3 shakes or 4 shakes, all liquid. I won't have any solids. I won't have no meat.
I can't do that.
Oh, you can if you want to,
but I don't want to.
That's just it. So you won't ever be able to lose your weight because you don't want to.
I want to, but I don't want to do that.
Then
there's other ways of doing it.
Then you have to do it the way you want to do it to make.
And then vodka drinker says, yeah, and how much cornbread, Catfish? Cornbread's a vegetable. Corn is corn. 100% corn.
So here, corn.
And milk and butter and salt.
Corn is the worst carbohydrate to have when you're dieting. You want me to tell you why?
Tell me.
I know you was going to ask the question.
Why?
Have you seen what the toilet looks like when you eat corn the next day?
Well, how can it be bad if you don't digest it? I mean, it's just nothing. It's a filler.
That's what you're not doing. You're not digesting it. It's still a solid when it comes out. You got to be able to break things down. It stays in too long. Corn.
Did you eat any of that pork I made? Did you see them thick?
That's against
things I cut it.
I can't eat pork, man. That's bad for you.
No, it ain't.
It's bad. But pork, no, you know pork.
Well, don't eat it. I'll eat it. I already ate mine. I'll go down there and eat yours. But those ribs that I cut up, those are good.
You know,
the boneless rib.
I eat every meat known to man.
Yeah, those pork good. Anyway,
let's see what it is. That sounds like Slim Fast.
That's what Jenny said.
Yeah, I do it. I mean, keto. I can do keto. Keto is easy for me because it's exactly what it is: meat and vegetables. That's all it is.
How much carbs? When you say no sugar, that don't mean you're not going to have carbs.
I'm going to try my best to have 0 sugar. 0. Carbs going to come from my vegetables. I'm going to have about 30 to 40 grams of carbs per day.
Well, how do you know that's how much you're having?
I know if I eat green veggies.
That's got carbs in it.
Yes,
and it's got fiber.
But that's what you want. You want good fiber. If you're eating that kind of stuff, carbs, that's not that many carbs then. If you're just eating greens and lettuce and stuff like that, that's not.
Beans have more carbs than anything.
I didn't say I'm having beans.
We've been cooking green beans every night. I've been back.
Green beans, you can do green beans.
What's the difference between green beans and beans? They're both beans.
Bobby, really?
Yeah, really.
I'm not going to answer that question. I'm going to let you research that so you can have the answer to that.
What's the color?
Like I said, guys, can you guys help me? Because this man here asked me some of the DUM. I can't even spell it because it just don't make sense sometimes, guys. You guys ever watched Sanford and Son and what Fred used to tell Lamont all the time? I know you guys know what he used to say.
Big dummy.
I didn't say that. Fred said that.
That's one of my favorite shows. Henry said, y'all need to start a volunteer roadshow restaurant. Just stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned.
Was that deja vu?
What?
What he just said.
Yeah, it's deja vu. That's Henry Riddle.
Huh.
Hang in there, guys. Buckle up. That's all I got to say. One of my trucker friends just texted me and says, I'm at the TA at the 374. I'm taking you with me. I'm going to take you to look at a truck that you ain't ever seen before, a show truck. He wants to visit with me for about 5 minutes. And it'll blow your mind. It's won so many truck shows. It is beautiful. It's a W900 like I have, but this is in a totally different class.
Man, that thing probably sucks.
No.
I've seen one better.
Not. Let me just show you before we go.
Yeah.
Let me just show you. I'm gonna pull up my buddy.
So, guys, I'm doing what he do to me all the time about sports, about football players.
He's just trying to be the opposite of me. Whether he
Danica Patrick could have drove that truck with her eyes closed.
There it is. He's been in. Look. Let me show you. Hold on. Let me get it over here where we can share the screen. David Foster, if you hear me, I'm showing off your truck. This is what it looked like on
Ooh, hey, that's clean.
Hold on, let me just show you. That's just he was in one of them trucker catalogs. Let's see if we can find a picture of it. There it is with all the lights over there. Let's see if we can find another one. Oh, they made a toy of it. See that toy? That's one of those model ones. That's an exact model of the one that he won the best of show in the Louisville Truck Show several years ago. That's a 2005, I think, W900. It's a studio sleeper, which my T600 was a studio sleeper, but my W900 was an aero cab. I'm going to see if I can find one where he was at his show. There it is, all lit up at the Joplin show. I was there at that one. I had my blue and white truck in that show. Yeah, he's got people giving him chrome all the time, these companies. I'm gonna go see him. Here he is on the cover of a magazine. Oh, there he is at a show. Man, let me tell you about these shows. These judges, they put on white gloves and they crawl all up underneath the truck on the outside of the truck and they wipe their hands and see if they see dirt.
Wow, is that clean?
When he goes to these shows, it is.
I need to get some of that wax they use.
Man, they spend days cleaning these trucks. Let's
Speaking
see.
of, I need to clean my car.
There he is sitting next to his truck right there in front, sitting in his chair at a show.
That is your truck.
So, well, mine was newer. Mine was a 2016. His is I think it's an 05, 06. But man, it's nice. Look at that. Look how pretty that is.
Yeah, that's clean.
Big old cat motor, man. That's a nice truck. I'll show you the difference between that studio sleeper and the one I had. Here's the picture of my truck. That's mine. See how mine's a flat top?
Yeah.
See, I like the look of the flat top. I like that. That's the cool look. His is what the stand-up sleeper. Mine was a flat top, but mine's a lot newer. But man, his is a much nicer truck than mine was ever going to be. And he didn't have the big bull rack, the polished bull rack like I had on the front, the big cow bumper or elk bumper or whatever you want to call it. Man, I miss trucking. No, I don't. This is the one I entered some of them shows in. I had a truck now. I had a truck. I had a good truck. Let's see if I can see some old pictures of my truck before we go. Oh, there we are in that show. Did you ever see that truck? That's the one I wrecked.
Yeah.
That the guy come across the median, and I
clean
drove right through this trailer.
That was clean too. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it had the same sleeper and the same cab as Dave Foster's, but the hood was different. That's the only difference. He had a square hood and I had the anteater hood.
I like that.
So, yeah, I love that truck. I did a lot of videos when I was in that truck. Anyway.
When are you going to get your truckers back on the show, man?
I need to.
I mean, I'm not trying to call you out, but I think they miss you.
Tony Justice, who's a big-time country singer with Bo Duke, is going to be on the show pretty soon. Good friend of mine, drives for Everhart Transport in Greenville. I've already talked to him. He goes all over the country. He got an album out, trucker songs. He's going to be on the show here real soon. So I am going to start talking to my truckers again.
Tennessee, Arkansas tied up, top of the fifth. 5-5.
Dang.
2 on, 1 out. And got
What inning is it?
Is the top of the fifth, and
That's still a lot of ball game left.
yeah, they got 1 out with 2 on right now.
Dang. Well, we're going to get out of here. Oh, what he said, my old man drove for 40 years and would talk your head off about it for hours, Catfish. Me too. If I'm around somebody that knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Go Vols. Billy likes to think he's the fastest defensive tackle at Tennessee when he was playing, but he ain't seen the Catfish. I had some wheels. I promise you that.
People always ask, where did we get the name Blue Water Climate Control? When a Navy ship casts off lines, exits the harbor, and loses sight of land, that's blue water sailing. It takes a team of people to do that. Tireless work, focus, and attention to detail. So much of starting a business is just like that. After it's done, you get filled with deep satisfaction for accomplishing something. And it's quickly followed by, now the real work begins. We're Blue Water